Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ryan, and today I'm going to be reviewing a beer from the Pine Brewing Company, and they're based out of Gaithersburg, Maryland. And this is their barrel-aged Imperator. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Imperator. We'll get into all the specifics in a bit. Again, they have some real awesome can work, artwork. Always like what they do here. Now, for this review, I have a special guest with me. I have Joe from the Beer PaTroll. Welcome, Joe. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you here. Yeah, look at that. Where are you? Where am I?
Where is this? This isn't my channel. I don't like this.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate you not only sending me this beer, but invite me on to review it. I'm really pumped up. So thank you. Good sir.
Thanks for being here.
Dr. Rose would say, baby daddy, I'm so thrilled to be here tonight.
Thanks for being here, Dusty Rhodes. I've been a longtime fan. And also of The Average Joe. I've been watching his channel for a few years now, and I will put a link to his channel in the description down below.
That Average Joe, baby, here, the jabroni. Don't forget it.
So please check him out.
Yeah, again, I'm going to go like this because I want to.
Yeah, no, I'm starting to finally get used to that. It's the opposite of where you want to actually.
Yeah, you already mentioned the artwork, but it's just, dare I say, fire, as the kids would say.
I see what you did there.
Don't ever do it again, right? I should never do it again.
But yes, no, Joe and I just did a review on his channel for Halloween of the Heavy Seas barrel-aged The Greater Pumpkin. Mm-hmm. And I sent him that one along with this, and he said, "Yeah, let's do a review." And so I was happy to have him on to do this.
It's not every day you get a crazy beer like this, though. You know, I mean,
it's
just wild what this is when you
totally. Now, and that's the thing. And I even, I asked Joe. I said, Joe, are you into the Rauchbiers? Well, that's not necessarily my go-to, but after I explained to him everything about this, he was like, "Oh, okay, I'm interested." So, all right, so. The barrel-aged Imperator, it's an Imperial German-style Rauchbier, a Rauchbier, if you will, aged in rye whiskey barrels for 20 months. It's 11% ABV. I do not see any IBUs on the can. I don't know if you do, Joe.
No, I don't think there's any at all.
And while they don't print on the can-on date, I did save the tab on the what do you want to call it, that plastic 4-pack ring, and it says that this was canned on September 26th, which would make this exactly 1 month and 2 days old at the time of this review.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Right?
Yep. Now the can felt a little hard. I hope this does not explode. I do have paper towels.
Yeah. So now I wanted to go on tap real quick to see if I can pull out a little more info. It does say this has a grain bill containing 75% smoked malts, aged in Sagamore rye whiskey and Sagamore double oak wave stave barrels for 20 months.
So it's basically a double barrel then?
I would say so. And the time spent in oak really mellowed out the smoke character without removing it from the flavor or aroma profile.
That sounds like heaven.
Right?
Beers, yeah. I mean, that's the thing with Rauch beers. I like the smoke character. It's just some of them are so intense, it's just overwhelming for my palate.
Yeah, I completely understand. And I, had, what was it, from Von Trapp? They had, it was like a maple. Yes, I thought that was great. The amount of smoke and sweetness with that, it just paired very well. Anyway, enough about that beer. Let's get into this beer. Crack it open.
First elder pine for me as well.
Oh yeah. I hope I hope it treats you well.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it regardless. Like a beer like this just sounds like a lot of fun to try.
Wow.
Go like halfway. I'm not trying to
went a little
drink this too quickly, you know what I mean?
I would say, yeah. So similar to you, it poured out a nice head, didn't it? Yeah. Like I'd say almost like a finger and a half of tan rocky head.
Yeah, like a tan beige kind of color.
Yeah. I know I'm not on my normal camera here, so I don't have like the best coloration, but yeah, you know what?
I would say that based on your camera and mine, what I'm saying, it's not probably as dark. It looks like a root beer or something.
Yeah,
you know, like a Dr. Pepper cola type of thing. Like it's dark, but not like crazy dark or dark brown. No, it's dark brown.
Yeah, definitely a darker brown. I mean, you know, when I'm really holding, you know, you can't see where I'm holding it. I'm holding it up to my light. Definitely a dark brown. I would say reminds me of those hard candy root beer candies, if you remember.
Barrels.
Yes, exactly. That's what they were.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
That head now has like quickly dissipated to just about one finger, but looks very well carbonated.
Sheets of alcohol on the sides of the glass, like it's just covering.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got alcoholics coming in at, what would I say, 11%? That's what. Yep. Let's get a nose.
All right. Oh, that smells fucking divine. Oh, I'm excited.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe nothing real so excited right now. Maybe he doesn't know what to do with himself. Did they cut a promo on somebody? Did they start drinking this? What happened?
Okay, so right away for me, I could smell that the whiskey, as in like the dominant aroma, followed by the smokiness from the actual base like Rauchbier. Going back in though, like the whiskey wasn't as prominent. How about you?
Yeah, no, the first blast, yes, I definitely got rye whiskey. A little bit of that like kind of rye spice with like a peppery whiskey kind of note. The thing that I cannot, let me just go back before I say something I regret. One thing I will say without question that I'm getting in this is the old school bullseye candies, the caramel with the vanilla in the middle.
Oh my God. Yes.
Caramel and vanilla, but like specifically those candies, the bullseye's candies.
Wow. I haven't thought of those for years, dude.
Oh, dude. And then a little bit like a smoked, almost like a cherry kind of smoke to me. Like I get like a
yeah. Absolutely. It's definitely, it reminds me of like a campfire with burning cherry wood, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I like that the smokiness is there, but it's not like the predominant note. It's not too big. Like kind of like I said, it seems like it mellowed out, which is nice. It's intertwining with the rest of the notes.
Yes.
Which is way better than just dominating it for my personal enjoyment. Dude, listen, this is Imperial German lager, basically, right? But a little bit of like a fudgy character, like just a hint of like a fudge. I don't know what's going on there.
Sure. Yeah, now that you mention it, I never would have actually thought of that. But yes, there's definitely like a fudge characteristic.
Or like brownie batter, like in that realm, right? Like,
yes, I would say brownie batter more than fudge.
Dude, I shit you not, this is one of the best aromas I've had in a beer in maybe months. Like this smells complex, yet the word I love, cohesive. And just like there's depths of flavor of aromas. I want to say flavors, but aromas that makes me super excited to want to drink. You know what I mean? Like I'm really excited now to get into this.
Well,
not that I wasn't before, but like it's like, oh my God, like.
Right. Well, again, that's why I was like, I know, okay, you're not a huge fan of Rauchbiers, and honestly, I'm not either. But every now and then you find some that are really unique, and I saw this and thought, you know what, I want to send this to Joe, and let's do it.
I'm glad you did. And the one last thing I got, and it's not an off flavor because I do get it sometimes in lagers, and it's not the green variety, but I'm getting a little bit of like a caramel covered apple. very slight, not that big, but a little bit of like a red apple, like a delicious or something like that, with just like a caramel kind of coating to it.
Okay.
Just again, slight, not over the top. I'm not saying that's like punching me in the nostrils. I'm just saying I kind of noticed something in that realm.
So, something else that I've learned over, this time, watching all these different beer tubers, the craft beer channel and everything, and like, oh, the proper techniques of smelling, and sniffing, whatever, you do that 3 quick sniffs followed by 1 long, deep sniff.
Mm-hmm.
When I do that long, deep sniff, I can pick up on the cherry and what you're saying, that green apple.
Well, I'm not saying green. You're saying green.
No, go ahead.
Because I just said like a red delicious, I would say. Now you're saying green because green apple in beers is a no-no a lot of times.
Granny Smith apple. Is that what you're saying?
No, well, as Granny Smiths are the green ones, right?
It's like, to me, it's this mix of cherry and a bit of green apple. Yeah,
bit of green apple. Yeah, I'm getting more red apple. We're at least in the apple range. Yeah, like almost like it's a red apple skin. Like you eat an apple, and you kind of just like slice a little bit off the edge, so it's more skin than like the flesh. Kind of like that's what I'm smelling.
Okay. Yeah. Well, okay. Yes. Right. So apple.
We'll just say apple to be generic about it. Yeah. There's like 8,000 varieties, but we'll just say apple.
All right. Well, hey, do you want to dive in and hope that the flavor matches, or the taste matches the flavor?
Yes, I do.
Cheers.
Thanks again, buddy. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Thanks for being here. Okay. I'm just going to say right out, this is way better than I truly actually expected, me personally. And I'm just going to start with the body mouthfeel. I was expecting this to be a lot thinner than what I'm getting. What are you getting?
It's better than I thought it was going to be by a substantial margin. I think the aroma was better, but if you're talking about like my anticipation coming into the beer review, this is definitely better than I anticipated, without question.
Yeah.
But the aroma was so top notch. I think it was going to be hard to live up to. To go to your body standpoint, yeah, I know it's 11%, but it's also a lager and it's barrel aged. So I was thinking it would be thin. This is not, like, to me, this is like higher side of medium body. Like it has a good substantial body for the style itself and kind of what I want this. I know it sounds stupid, but I want this to be quite drinkable because of the style. It's 11%, but I almost feel like I don't want this to be a sipper where it takes me 3 hours to drink this. I'd like to drink this maybe in like an hour. You know what I mean? Like, and I think the body helps that because it's not super like thick and syrupy and whatnot. And I'm glad that it's not.
No, and I agree. I was going to go with medium body. I for some reason, I don't know. Whenever I hear barrel aged, I'm just used to kind of more of a thinner, body or lower side of medium. And I wouldn't say already very pleasantly surprised with the body and the mouthfeel.
Yeah, the mouthfeel is nice. Like it has that crispness to it.
Yeah, but I'm going to say smooth too.
Real smooth.
Yeah.
It is good. It's really good though. It's like, it's kind of everything we said. I'm getting that red apple. I'm getting the cherry. It's maybe not as heavy on like the confectionery, like burnt sugars that we were talking about. Like I mentioned caramel, the bullseye candies and stuff. It's not like to that level, but it has like the flavors of those things without like the accompanied sweetness. Like this is not that sweet, which is great at 11%.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And now, absolutely, I'm getting that red apple skin note that you were mentioning on the nose. I would say I was totally wrong on the green apple skin, but
remember, there's no wrong in beer unless you're me. Then you're totally wrong all times. No, I it's funny because when people are like, oh, not like what you just said, but like a lot of people would be like, oh, I guess I'm wrong. It's like, hey, taste what you taste. Like everybody has a different palate. Like no one's actually wrong unless you're doing like a blind beer review and then you completely miss it.
Well, sure, yeah.
And you're wrong.
Yeah, we can do one of those one day. But
I can make that happen, Ryan, on the Beer PaTroll.
Sure. I'll probably make a fool of myself. I can't wait. It'll be great.
Those are the best ones, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, flavor wise, the smoke is there. There's like no doubt, and I would go with it. It's like a cherry smoked flavor, but it is not overpowering. It is, to me anyway, it is not overpowering. This is like a perfect level of smoke mixed with the bourbon.
Yeah,
and the bourbon itself too is, for 11%. I'm not, it's not like an overpowering bourbon flavor. I feel as if it mixed extremely well with that smoke flavor. I'm not getting booziness. Actually, as I just said, I'm not getting any booziness. I might have a slight burning, almost like on the back of my tongue, but I'm not even getting any warming in the chest or throat.
You wouldn't say it tastes like burning. Shout out to Ralph Welcome. No. I don't like that. No, I agree with you. It's funny because we just, as you mentioned earlier, we got done doing the Greater Pumpkin from Heavy Seas. I think that had more of a pronounced booziness and noticeable barrel character than this. And this is a percentage higher, and it's a base beer that you think would maybe be dominated by that barrel, and it's not. It's like, it's very well blended. Like, and I agree that the cherry would like kind of smoke. This is, so if somebody asks me, what's your perfect level of smoke in a Rauchbier to make you want to enjoy it? This, like, I get the smoke character mostly on the finish, but it's not overpowering. Doesn't dominate the rest of the flavors, and it kind of melds together with everything. That's what I want out of my smoke character in a style like that, in this style specifically. This is fucking really good. Like, really good. Like, way better than I anticipated. Like I said, like, not that I go into reviews with preconceived notions, but like you asked me about, the style, and it's just like, it's a hit or miss for me. Sometimes I enjoy it, sometimes I don't. And knowing everything that's going on with this beer, I didn't know what to expect. And I was like, bracing myself for maybe disappointment.
Right.
Happy to say that's not the case.
Well, something else I have to say. I'm not saying I'm a fanboy for Elder Pine. Maybe I am, but they do some really good work. They definitely, along with, what was it, Sapwood Cellars here in Baltimore, I'd say they really experiment a lot. And sometimes for me and my palate, they will fall flat. But at least they're experimenting and trying different avenues and trying different things. And oftentimes, I want to say, Elder Pine, man, they're really hitting it out of the park here.
This is my first beer from Elder Pine. So unfortunately for me, I started off on a great foot, which means it's only down from here.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I was concerned. I didn't want your first experience with Elder Pine to be a bad one, and then here I am saying, here's a Rauchbier, and you're like, it's not necessarily my favorite style.
Even if they, like, we didn't enjoy this and I wasn't enjoying it, I still think, like, kudos to them for trying something like this, because this is number one, Rauch beers are usually 5-6%ish. It's an Imperial one. You don't see a lot of American breweries brew it. Then you throw it for 20 months in 2 different barrels, including rye whiskey. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. Luckily it didn't. And we are reaping the benefits as we speak. I will say, I like that rye whiskey. I am getting, on the finish with that smokiness, I am getting that like rye spice, like, like caraway. In my mind, I always think what rye spice is like a little spiciness. And then I'm always instantly reminded of caraway seeds, like on rye bread. But it has that like a rye spice with like a slightly peppery like whiskey, and like we talked about, it's not too much. It's kind of like the smoke, where it's like it's layered in there so beautifully with the rest of the characters, and it just works so well.
I pick up on those notes, kind of more on the finish, I would say.
Yeah, 100% on the finish. The smoke, it's like the rye whiskey turns into the smoke, and then it kind of like, that's like the lasting finish is like the smoky rye whiskey kind of character.
And on the aftertaste too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice.
Definitely.
Real nice.
Yeah.
And 11%, like you said, like, yeah, it's boozy, but we just drank a 10% beer that was a little bit more boozy. So like, I'd say it hides the alcohol well. If I was doing this blind, there's no way I'd say 11. I'd say probably like at the most 10, but probably like 9. Like I don't think it's that big of a beer from the ABV standpoint if I was doing this blind.
I would say this is very comparable to the beer that I just sent you that you will be trying. From Idiom, yeah. And that was, I can't remember the exact brand. Something John T. Stagg or George T. Stagg.
And George Jr.
George Jr. Stagg. Yeah, something like that. But very similar. In fact, again, I don't want to, I want you to do that, but I'll just say it's very similar to this, only it's less boozy, it seems, even, honestly. Yeah.
But that's also less ABV, isn't it? Like 8.5, 9, that beer, or no?
That is, yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's not 9.5, I believe. 9.5. So what I meant to say is that tastes more boozy than this.
Oh, that's okay. I was like, okay.
Right. And that great. This, I don't know if maybe the smokiness or whatever is kind of calming that down in a sense.
I love that apple character too, and like I said, it's not crazy big, but it's like you just took a bite of a red apple, whatever variety, and like somebody drizzled not I guess a caramel covered apple earlier, but it's more like a drizzle caramel because it has a little bit of like that sweet malt caramel, brown sugar, the toffee, like the burnt sugars, right? More so than anything.
I would go with the brown sugar for sure. I know I get the brown sugar and maybe more toffee.
Yeah, toffee too. I've never had a toffee covered apple, but I bet you it's delicious if they existed. It makes some like toffee, some peanut brittle, but instead of peanuts, put some slices of apples in there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Everything exists. So.
All right. Well, do you have any other tasting notes you'd like to mention there? Yeah. Okay.
Maybe Dr. Rose said this is delicious, Daddy.
Yeah. No, this is great. And it's always kind of difficult for me because there's not many Rauch beers that I review.
You don't see a lot of canned or bottled ones from like American breweries, honestly. If you see a Rauchbier on draft, you're like happy at a place. You're like, wow, they have one? Like, that's cool. I'll try it. But you do not see them too often.
So for me, for a rating on this, again, that's where I'm like, it's kind of difficult. I got to say, this is probably my favorite that I've had thus far to this date. So I want to give it a high score. I'm going to give this, I'm going to give this a 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm right with you. Yeah, you're not, like, I was almost looking at you, you'd be like, Joe, I'm going to go super high. Give it like a 3.6 or something. No, dude. No. So, like, the classic Rauchbiers right here, these two at the bottom, right? So, well, I should say both of them, but like, the brewery, that's the Shalanka, Shinkerla. They are, I know how to pronounce them.
I'm about to review them myself.
I will never know how to pronounce them. I will stop trying to pronounce them. But so I have their Rauchbier, which is their new cherry wood smoked beer, and I have it. They have it in cans now. Look forward to trying that. So these are like classic. For something that's not classic, this beer is freaking divine, dude. This is great. I'd give it like a 4.4. Like it's everything I kind of want of a Rauchbier, and you're telling me about 20 months in 2 different barrels, 11%. You imperialized it. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I'm also very happy that the first Elder Pine beer that you had, you are actually enjoying, especially when it's again, I keep bringing it up. I have to stop bringing it up. A style that it's not our favorites.
It's not, and that's not. And to go back to that, and I'm sure you're the same way. Like, there are a handful of styles I do not actively care for. But if somebody wants to send me one, or I see something that's interesting, I'll still try it, because I always say despite maybe not liking certain styles, you never know when a beer within a style can surprise you. I've had numerous styles in the past where I'm like, I don't like that. And then I found a couple beers within the style, and now I can say, like, it's fine. It's okay. I don't mind that style. So this is like if someone says, hey, what kind of Rauchbier have you enjoyed? And I'll be like, all right, I've had a couple from them. I enjoy them. But like if we're going through something outside the box for as far as a smoke beer goes, this. And they have a non-barrel aged version, which I think would be fun to try.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet, to be honest. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you haven't tried it, right?
I have not seen it or tried it yet. I'll tell you what, I'm going to send it your way once once it's around.
Yeah, well, if you do end up doing that down the line, we'll definitely do another review on it because we have to. There's like that's the laws of beer tubing. You gotta
is that it?
Talk about it and then both have it, and then we don't do a review on it.
All right. Well, I'm learning, taking notes right now. Okay.
There's no rules of beer tubing. Zero.
But no, I have to agree with you. Like, there is not one single beer style that I will not try. There are some that I'm like, yeah, it's not my favorite. I'm honestly not a huge fan of oatmeal brown ales. I don't know. Sammy Smith, whatever. I had a couple
the nut brown ale from them.
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, there's a whole story that I can maybe say one day on my channel about that. Involves a Fish concert, but
of course it does, Ryan. I don't know how many of your viewers know you love Fish, but I'm sure all of them. No, but you're right. But it applies to anything in life. I think specifically food and beer related. I feel if you're closed-minded on trying stuff, just trying that. Not like, let's say you go out to a new restaurant and somebody's like, hey, take a bite of this appetizer that I have. Or say, if you're one of those people that are like, no, I don't like it. Why not? Just it's a single bite of food, just like this. Buy a beer, try it. What's the worst case scenario is that you don't enjoy it? It happens. It's life.
Exactly.
But to close yourself off and just be like, no, I don't want to try that. I mean, to each their own, but for me, I'll always be open to trying different foods and drinks. And when it comes to beer,
absolutely,
if somebody wants to throw something my way or I see something interesting, I'm never going to turn it, especially if it's recommended by somebody that their palate I trust, or I know they know what I like and whatnot. So like with this, you're like, hey, how much you enjoy Rauch beers? I was like, hit or miss. You're like, well, I got this one from Elder Pine. Here it is. I'm like, yeah, I'll definitely try that. Like, I'm not gonna be like, don't.
Right, exactly. Now, granted, I know we have similar palates. It seems like, but I would say this was a total blind. I never had this before, and I thought, you know what, this will be interesting. Why not? Let's both do something where we're both kind of blind to it.
Even if you were like, hey, I just got the regular non-barrel aged one, I would have been like, yeah, I'm down to try it. I never had an Elder Pine. Don't think I've ever had an Imperial Rauchbier. So,
yeah,
I'll try it out.
Sure,
got to be open. I'm always open to stuff like that. Like it's, I like it. You never know. Like I say, you never know what you're gonna enjoy. And I'm glad you sent this now because like this is fucking absolutely divine. Like it's great. I love it.
Yeah, no, I'm thoroughly enjoying this, and I'm not gonna lie. I know my bottle shop, which is 10 minutes away from me, has a lot more of this. So I'm going back tomorrow and we'll be getting more.
Dustin wrote that the Hayes boys don't enjoy the Imperial Rauchbier. They don't enjoy that, baby. I think I just spit everywhere, baby. A little bit of this.
No, that's just it. That's probably why it's going to be sitting there for a while. So I may as well grab another 4-pack. I can probably sit on this also for a while.
You have Untappd still open? I would be surprised. Well, Elder Pine is hype. So I'm going to say, like, rating, there is no way this beer is over like a 4.1. This is probably at the most like a 4.05 or something, maybe a 4.1. But like that would be absolute. There's no way this beer is that high because of the style itself. 100% no way.
You want to know what it is?
Yeah, I'm curious.
4.12.
Oh, so I was wrong.
So close. I mean, so close.
But you and I don't even love the style, and we're gushing over it.
Do you know what the non-barrel aged version got?
Sub 4, 100%.
4.13.
All right, I'm fucked in the head then. Well, that's impressive. The only reason
because I would totally agree with you in your thought process there. So,
what I was going to say is maybe the substantial aging of this one maybe turns away like classic Rauchbier drinkers who want like nothing crazy. They just want the smokiness and that's it. Maybe there's not enough smoke for folks that like the style. Plus, it's Imperial, and you don't see a lot of those around.
And it's also possible that, believe it or not, it's a lot of those hazy drinkers, and they don't want the bourbon flavor in the beer.
No, I mean, a lot of hazy drinkers don't want anything but hazies.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
give me the hazies and the fruited sours, and I don't want to. Was that a porter or like a regular like 5.5% porter? No, it's like a 3 out of 5 at best. I don't care how great it is.
Yeah. Well, Joe, thanks for hopping on my channel again. I appreciate it. Do you want to, shout out your channel or anything else?
If you're down, well, first off, thank you for sending me this beer and the heavy seas and the idioms. I'm going to hit you back with a small beer mail with some local stuff, depending on what I can find and what I think you'll enjoy. Maybe a mystery beer now because you have clamored for it. Maybe one day I'll get to try one sooner than you think. But thank you for sending me this first Elder Pine beer. Knocked it out of the park. I'd like to try more. The Sapwood Cellars obviously is on my bucket list at some point. As far as my channel, like, if you want to come and see mediocre, subpar beer reviews with me rambling about nonsense, come and check me out. It's a lot of fun. I don't do pumpkin beers apparently as much as Ryan does with his 31 days, but I do enough of them. And thankfully, they're done. By the time you see this, they are definitely done. And throughout November and December, I don't know. I'm toying with maybe doing an advent calendar. There's a lot of local bottle shops that are doing their own advent calendars, which is cool. So it's going to be like, I hate to say this, but like good beer, as opposed to just like go to Aldi's and you get this random like German breweries that don't exist in Aldi's advent calendar. You're like, what the hell is this? Like, not that type of stuff, but we'll see. I just review whatever. Usually post one beer review a day, and drink some decent stuff, kind of like Ryan. Maybe not as many idiom reviews, but it is what it is. I do got a couple of beers from idiom reviews. That the off your gourd barrel age that you sent us, the crunch berry. So I'll be doing those soon. I'll be doing those.
Hey man, you told me not to send you too much. I would have sent you.
I know that's why I said that, Ryan.
New England IPA.
I would have fucking opened up that box and it'd been like 23 beers, and I'd been like, "What are you doing?" Trying to kill me.
But I know you got a lot to get through. So
yeah, I think by the end of the year, I'm going to be through most of the stuff. Just honestly, we talk about it, and I mentioned this on my channel. If you come and see the Heavy Seas, the Greater Pumpkin 2023 review that Ryan did with me on my channel, talking about Ryan, there's just too many generous individuals in the beer tubing community. It's one of the best parts about the community itself. Just people, basically why everyone sends out crazy beer mails is they want to see what people think about them, people they watch, people they're friends with, whatever. And it's so cool because that's how you get to try a lot of stuff you never would be able to. Like, without Ryan, there's no way I probably ever try another Pine beer, let alone something as cool as this. And I think that's what kind of makes beer tubing go round. It doesn't matter if you have 50 subscribers or 50,000 subscribers. At the end of the day, we're all beer geeks, beer nerds, and I think everybody in the community, for the most part, like 95% of the people, really, really cool, nice, generous people that are too giving at times.
That's giving. That's one way of putting it. But no, I completely 100% agree with you for sure. Everybody is great in this community. Everybody's very kind and giving for sure, as you said. And so everybody, please check out Joe's channel. I will link his channel in the description below. Again, to be completely honest, Joe was the first beer tubing channel that I ever stumbled across. And it just so happened to be while I was just kind of Googling pumpkin beers. Go figure that.
As I like to say, and my old school quote is, "That's on you." Yeah. That is on you. To me, be the first beer tuber, that's totally on you, not me.
And then it opened up a can of worms. Somehow I ended up with those freaking FLX boys.
Yeah, nobody likes those guys. Mike's better than Dan, so there's at least that. I mean, he sent me the cool SNL.
The better half. The better half.
Dan likes to say, he's 41% owner, but Mike's the real brains behind that operation. Let's be honest here.
Oh yeah. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for watching. As I always say at the end, I always feel bad doing this, but hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below.
Smash the shit out of all of them.
Smash that shit.
Smash them, man. What else you got to do?
Subscribe button if you like what you're watching, so you know when you have updates in the future. So
unless you're already subscribed, then you're unsubscribing. Don't do that.
Yeah, right.
Don't do that. We don't want you to do that.
So normally I would say until the next time, peace. But this time I want to cheers with Joe. So let's
we can do the peace and the cheers. Peace, cheers.
Oh yeah. So now until next time, peace and cheers.